Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. My name is Josh, and I am from Tap for Games. I am a basement slinging Magic the Gathering seller, and I haven't been doing this for very long, but I thought I'd start to document. Nice. I thought I'd start to document my journey, mostly because I'm a narcissist. No, honestly, I just thought it would be kind of fun to share with people that have any interest in this. A little bit about me. I am a father of one, married, work full time in another place, but kind of fell back in love with Magic last year or so. Used to play it a lot when I was a kid, but times changed. Pokemon came in, killed my little small gaming group in the 90s, and it took me until my 30s to finally find people who wanted to play again and me to have time and money to do so. But yeah, I, like most people who are in this hobby, have kind of started to either acquire too many cards and started to feel like, maybe I could sell some of these. And that was not helped at all by the fact that the YouTube algorithm really started pushing how to sell these cards to me. And since I love business, I kind of just fell straight into it. And I really didn't have much of a choice other than, I guess I could have said no, but I was too excited, a little too excited. So as one does, I jumped in with both feet straight into this puddle and have been learning it along the way. So I started back in February of this year, and the first 2 months were actually pretty encouraging. And even though I definitely don't know what I'm doing, and I definitely didn't start with $0 in the bank, I had to put my own capital into this to kind of get it off the ground and use some of my private collection. I had a good first month in February, and then in March it was again a pretty decent month. And again, from my standards, there are people that are way, way and above what I made in that time frame. I think I made somewhere around $500 each month top line revenue before anything else came out of it. Gross profit wise is, I mean, if I was to be honest, the business is heading in a direction that is going to be good, but the startup capital and my impatience is something that I'm trying to overcome. For example, I set up my LLC. I bought some equipment that doesn't, quote, exist yet, but is being made and should ship to me in December. And then obviously there's the inventory buys that I needed to kind of get things moving and going along. So I really am trying to build this experiment of a business to try and have a side hustle that kind of goes somewhere. So originally the plan was, hey, if I do this, move this, I can maybe fund the hobby. And that's always the dream. And then on top of that, I'm like, oh, I actually need to sell every card that comes in. And that was a fun realization pretty quick because, you see all these great cards and you're like, oh man, it'd be nice to have that. And then I'm like, well, somebody will really enjoy this. And I just put it on the shelf to sell. But it has enabled me to really see more of the game that I've been missing over the years. I did a lot of Battle for Zanarkand. Zanarkand. I think that's Final Fantasy X. Oh, that's really funny. But BFC. Is it BFC? Now I got my brain all twitchy twatchy because I can't remember for a fact. Yes, BFC. Yeah, I'm not totally crazy. It's right here. These boxes, the old draft boxes. Zendikar, because apparently I thought Zanderkin, because, you can tell that I'm definitely very organized and know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, I think at this point the business is at 6,000 unique SKUs. I've got 17,000 total units. I've done a great job of putting things into an inventory system. One that I would say I didn't make up my mind fast enough for, but I did two different styles of inventory. The first one I did set sorting and alphabetizing, kind of the old school way. And then I learned that there's something called chaos sorting. So I've been trying to do that and doing 50 card pieces, and I think both of them have their merit. I may talk about them a little bit more down the road, but I think it's not for this particular video. And, you know, I've had my challenges and bumps along the way, just like anybody else does that has this kind of business. And I've made some bad purchases, and I've made too many purchases for future stuff coming down the road, I think, in my opinion. And, you know, it's a growing and learning experience. I know recently, like this is just one of the things that I've learned, and that's like set releases and how things kind of move. But like I raised my floor to like 20 cents, I think somewhere at the beginning of April, and I was seeing a lot of sales, like I was saying, or a decent amount of sales for me in February and March, and then April I was like 11 and then 22 for a week, and I was like, oh, this is really good for me as somebody who's not, who's not done this as permanently as a lot of folks. And then right before Strixhaven hit, my sales like plummeted, like down to 9. I was like, what is happening? So I was wondering, maybe it's that I somehow managed to sell most of the good stuff that I have in my inventory, so I started to back it off a little bit, and I was like, well, maybe I'm going to lower my floor. So I'm trying that experiment. So maybe I'll talk about that in the future and see how that kind of pans out over the next week or two. But yeah, that's kind of who I am. I'm just a guy, just like a lot of folks, trying to figure this out. I love talking business. I love doing this whole entire side gig. And if you're here for that, if you're interested in any of that, consider subscribing. If you're looking for any particular card that you see, or you see anything that I might have, everything lands on the shop that it goes through here. But yeah, if you want to find me on tapforgames.com, you can sign up to my newsletter. I will email you at least once, I promised, saying, hey, and then I will probably forget to email you ever again until I figure out the marketing aspect, instead of just saying, hey, I got new cards listed, which is, you know, when people need it, they're already going for it. It's kind of meeting them in the buyer's journey at the wrong spot. But I don't know, figure that out too. That's another fun part of the business. And I think the last thing that I had one more thing I was going to say. I think that might be it. Yeah, let me just check my notes here. Yeah, I think this was how I was going to introduce myself, and I think I am good. I just wanted to bring, yeah, cool. I'll see you guys in whenever the next video is. Bye.